Hello, racing fans, and welcome back to another edition of Handicappers Corner, brought to you by the Derby Bar and Grill. I'm Mike Heads. I'm with Drew Forster. We're going to go through the Saturday, October 1st races at the lovely Hastings Racecourse. They're calling for mixed weather. It's not supposed to be brutal, but there is a call for a bit of rain.
It's sunny right now as the taping on Thursday afternoon, so we'll hope the weatherman can hold out. We get a nice day of races. We do have four stakes on tap. Championship day, really, with the Ballerina and the Premiers. That'll decide who are our top older horses. And we do have two sale stakes, one for the 3-year-old boys, one for the 3-year-old girls. They go fairly early in the card. There is 7 races on tap. Let's jump right into it. First race on the card is an $8,000 claimant event for older colts and geldings. Going a mile 16th, field of 5 here. I went to the one, Bluegrass Pride. He's on a roll right now. He loves going long. Wins going a mile and 1/8 comfortably for trainer Mike Anderson. Was claimed that day. Comes back at 8,000 a mile 16th. No threat. Wins by almost 4. Gets a 70 buyer. I don't see any reason why he can't repeat and win this one. I put a heart set in the second spot. Bit of a price. Cuts his price in half down to 8,000, but he wants to go long. This is a horse that's only been out of the money once going long, and that was a 4th. He only got beat 4 lengths that day behind Laguna Blaze, Wonder World, Rebus, some decent horses. Now he gets to go long. I think Patty Lee's been dying to try him long all year. It's only his 4th start, and that, for me, makes him more dangerous in here. I got heart set in the second spot, and I put Abil. He's only ran long once. That was his last race. He ran 4th, but there's no real speed in here, and I can see him getting the lead by himself and carrying him a long way, which is why I put him in the 3rd spot. I went 1, 2, 4.
Yeah, I agree. Bluegrass Pride, 5-horse field. He looks like it's tailor-made for him. Yeah. He has tactical speed. He can be on the lead if the pace is slow. Yeah. He can sit just off of it if the pace is fast. He's a nice colt that's in good form right now. He's won back-to-back races, beat the same field pretty handily. Yeah, someone's really going to have to jump up and run a big race, I think, to defeat Bluegrass Pride. Richard Hamill re-rides for trainer Tara Nigel. And I put Abil in for second. I think maybe this is the one that could upset him. As you mentioned, it was just his first try going long. He didn't get any breathers. He was pressured early by Bluegrass Pride, who eventually dropped off after the half. But Abil had to take on another customer, and then Bluegrass Pride for a second time. And he ended up getting tired late, but I think the race will serve him as a good prep for today's race. And maybe if he can get the lead, clear off, he might be the one to, the only one with a chance to defeat Bluegrass Pride. And I put the 5 Ambidextrous Duke, who's been in good form all year for John Morrison, in for 3rd. I went 1, 4, and 5 in the Saturday opener. On to race number 2, first of our 4 stakes races. This is the Colts and Geldings CTHS 3-year-old stakes events. These are for horses that passed through the sale a couple years ago. There's only 5 of them signed on, but what we lack in quantity, we certainly make up in quality. We have Stands in Command, who was 3rd in the Derby. Lord Vancouver, a stakes winner, and BC Charlie, stakes placed runner, and coming in off a nice allowance win as well. Those 3 horses, look the best on paper. I went Stands in Command. I think BC Charlie, Omega Victory, and Lord Vancouver will probably ensure a decent
set
pace.
It up for him,
and Stands in Command. That's all he needs to make him a winner. So I put him in the winner's circle. Richard Hamill get the daily double. Put the 1-horse BC Charlie and the 3 Lord Vancouver in behind. But I went 4, 1, and 3. But you can make strong cases for all 3 horses. They're all very capable of winning, and just however the race sets up, BC Charlie and Lord Vancouver get comfortable paces, then they have a shot. But if things get quickened because of Omega Victory being between them, who has some speed, then things, it's going to be pretty easy for Stands in Command. But I went 4, 1, 3.
Well, obviously I had the same horses. I mean, it is between those 3, I really feel. I went with Lord Vancouver on top. Phil Hall having a great year. He was very much in form before he left for the Canadian Derby. I don't know how well he shipped, but he's come back and he's worked very well since then. And I like the fact that the speed's on his inside. Omega Victor and BC Charlie both to his inside. It's going to give Dennis Arrojo some options. I don't think he necessarily needs...
That's right. He doesn't need
He doesn't necessarily need the lead, and he can sit just off him. And if he gets comfortable fractions, he's going to be a fresh horse. He's the one Stands in Command is going to have to come run down. So I got Lord Vancouver on top of Stands in Command, and I put BC Charlie in the 3rd spot. I honestly feel it's going to be one of those 3, obviously, that win this race. Maybe want to take all 3 and really win 4. I went 3, 4, and 1 in the 2nd. On to the 3rd, the girls' turn. 3-year-old filly division of the sale stake, and Pseudo Claire does not really want to go this far, I feel. However, she just towers over this field, both in her accomplishments and her buyers, everything about it, other than, the BC Oaks is obviously a little bit too far for her. They set some okay fractions up front. They went 46-2, and she was part of that early pace scenario that helped set up Victress, who we'll see later on today in the Ballerina. But, I mean, good Lord, she has to be able to dominate this field. So I got Sea Eau Claire on top. I put Chestnut's Gold, good second behind Hippie in a 25. Ran fourth in the Hong Kong Jockey Club. Been off since then, but still, she looks better than the rest for me. And I threw Frankie Barraby's We're As Good As Gold. That looks like she'll get the distance in the third spot. I went 2-3-5.
Yeah, I agree. Sea Eau Claire, mixed feelings about her, but I mean, especially since she's going to be like 2-5. I did pick her to win it.
You have to pick her to win it, but maybe when you're betting, you try and beat her if you're betting. Yeah.
I have I would not bet a nickel on this horse out of my own pocket on Sea Eau Claire. And it's just a race, unless you just skip the race
2-5.
or try and get lucky with someone else. But Sea Eau Claire had a lot of chances and get beat up a lot. But I mean, it's no snuggles in here, and that's going to help Sea Eau Claire.
No snuggles, no Victress, no Chianti,
no
Princess Soprano.
It's a lot easier. There's a lot of horses in here that have been running for $4,000 and $8,000. It's not a tough renewal of the fillies division of the sales stake, but she's got to be the pick. I put the one horse Free and Fast in for second. I liked her run last time, even though she was well beaten behind Great Promise. That was the boys in a maiden allowance race, and didn't get the best of trips from an outside post and lacked position. And anytime you lack position in races, you're going to be in trouble. And I just think she's going to get position. She's going to sit in behind the speed. If someone bugs Sea Eau Claire, perhaps she gets beat, and it might be Free and Fast that beats her. And I put the 3-horse Chestnut's Gold. Who has yet to prove she's classy enough, but she's yet to prove that she wants to run this for him. She's been running bang-up races sprinting, but can she go a mile on the 16th? We'll see. But I went 2, 1, and 3 in race number 3 onto the 4th race. Maiden special weight for 2-year-olds here. Going 6 furlongs, full gate of 10 of them signed on. Actually got one waiting to get in. I went to the 9-horse Prettier Than You. No real clever selections in here. Nothing really jumped out at me of the lightly raced horses or first-time starters. So Prettier Than You, good runner-up effort. 2, Slicky Boy, who I think is going to work out to be a pretty nice horse for John Morrison. And the 10-horse Classic Statement. I went 9-10. I think those are your 2 horses. The blinkers on really seemed to help Prettier Than You. Maybe made her a little too speedy, but she went fast, opened up a big lead, and got caught late. But she was still a clear second. So I like her to win it. I'm going to go 9-10, and I put the 3-horse Master Ewan for Rob Maben. The white-hot Rob Maben, who can't seem to lose.
Winning 3 last Sunday.
Yeah, this son of Adios Charlie is, I thought, got a pretty better-than-look debut behind Slicky Boy and Prettier Than You, and I think this horse has some room to improve. So 9, 10, and 3 for me. And a very tough, this is a race. If you can get away cheap in the early races and you pick 4, this race could use a little bit of, quite a few horses in it.
I agree. Prettier Than You looks very tough in here. A great run last time. What I like about her, too, is she did get beat by Slicky Boy. I think is a decent horse, but she was well clear of the rest of them. Colonel Kevin, I think, is a pretty nice horse, and she was almost 4 lengths ahead of him. So Prettier Than You for me. Then I went to some first-time starters. I'm trying to get creative here. I put Fireboss in the second spot for Barb Heads and Russ and Lois Bennett. Tierra del Fuego was a very nice filly, very really talented filly. And Sun Gold, so I went more on breeding than anything there. The works are okay, but I just, this horse is bred to be a decent horse. So I put Fireboss in the second spot. And I put McCallum, another one by Whiskey Wisdom. Jody Rawson trains. She's having a great year, and she attracts Antonio Reyes, who's a second rider and really heating up of late as well. So I put McCallum in the third spot. 9, 5, and 7 for me in the fourth. On to the 5th, the Premiers. Nice race here.
Yeah, 2 more stakes coming up. We got the Premiers here.
Premiers and the Ballerina on tap here. In the Premiers, I'm going with Calgary Caper. I think there's enough speed in here. You have Sorry About Nothing. You have Venetian Mask. You have Killing Me Smalls. It should be hot enough on the head end to set up for a horse who's won 3 in a row. Last 2 in stakes coming very convincingly in the Pacific Customs Brokers Classic on BC Cup Day, and then in the SW Randall Plate, that big move again. He wasn't 26-1 that time, but he was still almost 5-1, still paid a good price. Amadeo Perez suits his horse to a T. I like Calgary Caper to defeat. Sorry About Nothing, I put in the second spot. His first time crossing the wire in actual first position. The only other time when he broke his maiden, he was moved up. But wow, did he look impressive in the Derby. I don't know if it's our best renewal of 3-year-olds around here, but
No.
he got out and just galloped. I think there's more upside there. I think with the win under his belt, he should move forward. And I like him out of the speed horse. So I'm going to put him on in second spot behind Calgary Caper. I put Square Dancer, who's reunited with his old friend Richard Hamill. Richard did very well on him last year, winning 2 stakes. I'll put him in the third spot. I went 7-2-1.
Yeah, I agree with the way you analyze and see how the race is going to set up. I think there's going to be not a wild pace, but a comfortable pace. And so
Go to mile 3/8. It doesn't have to be wild. And
I just see,
get these horses
I
getting
see
tired,
the
yeah.
2, 3, and 6 going out there. I see the 1, 5, and 7 dropping way back. I see the 4 horse
Your old
getting
friend,
the my
Shooting
friend,
Jacket.
Shooting Jacket getting right in a no man's land behind the pack of runners up front.
Getting the first crack
ahead
at
of the deep runners. A perfect trip. He ran 4th in last year's renewal of the Premiers against a red-hot, sharp Killing Me Smalls who was just firing on all cylinders, ran a huge race.
And he won
Square
by
Dance-
almost 6. He only gets beat 8, so he's only 2 lengths out of second.
Square Dancer was in top form. He was rolling then.
Yeah.
Neither one of those horses are rolling right now. And Brass and Gold was a nice horse as well at the time. All 3 of those horses that beat him were in top form and rolling and just full of confidence. All of them are. On the flip side now, they're all coming in off of losses. They're not in top form. It just, this year looks to be a little easier for Shooting Jacket. I thought his run last time was okay. I know he ran second. I liked him to win it. He got swooped by Calgary Caper, but I thought maybe a little too close to a fast pace. Might have been an early run. When you're going on 111 for 6 panels and you're only a couple lengths off of it, you're probably a little too close. And I just think it may be a better pace scenario for Shooting Jacket, so I'm going to stick with him. I put him to win it. Killing Me Smalls, I respect. This is a nice horse for Ernie Keller and the Delton Stables, Dennis Dale. And they're going to be pretty live in here. Killing Me Smalls is the best horse in the race, bar none. He can avoid a pace duel with Sorry About Nothing and Venetian Mask. He's going to win. He's the best horse, no doubt. But I just think he may fall victim to some pace. And I put the 5 horse, Royal Warrior. I always respect Rico Walcott in any of these races. But a big money rider. He's only come over here, 21 races. He's won 8 of them. They've pretty much all been in stakes races. He gives horses the best chance to win. And he wasn't all that far behind Killing Me Smalls. 2 starts back, I know it was a pace-helped race for him, but it may happen again. And he beat Blue Dancer last time quite comfortably in the speed to spare, so the distance isn't going to be a problem for him. I've left Square Dancer out. I've left the Derby winner out. I've left some pretty nice Calgary Caper I've left out. But it's a good renewal of there's not a lot of horses in it, but a good renewal of the BC Premier. So I went 4-6-5. On to the Ballerina, grade 3 event. Fillies and Mares going 1 mile and 1/8. Field is 6 in here. I've got to the 5 Touching Promise. I think she's going to get a pretty nice pace scenario. She did have to chase Arabella's Muse last time. Kind of put a little bit of an early run at her at the half-mile pole on 46 and change, and then hooked her at the 111. Didn't look like she was going to get there, but she did end up grinding her down to win at the end of the 9 furlongs because she is a superior 9 furlong horse. If the rains come, she moves up even more. She moves up 5 more lengths, just Touching Promise. And
as we saw 2 years ago.
She is dangerous on the head end or near the lead, so I just think she gets a good trip. She might have to, Sailing for the Sun will probably be the speed if she breaks. Touching Promise sit off her, and I just think that's the way the race is going to sit, and she's got every shot to win from there. Snuggles and Victress, to me, are the next 2 best horses, the 2 3-year-old fillies. I think Snuggles is slightly better. Just missed, a prep race before the Oaks, but that was by design, and just perhaps got caught flat-footed in the BC Oaks, and Victress kind of got the jump on her and couldn't quite come back. Those 2 fillies, there's not much between them anyway, but Snuggles and Victress are 2 very quality fillies. They're going to put on a good show. So, but they are off the pace type horses. Snuggles has a little more, obviously more speed and could be in play early, but I went 5, 4, and 2.
I agree. Touching Promise is my horse in here. Looking to become only the third filly, I should say, to win this race 3 times. Delta Colleen, of course, did it, and Magic Co did it around the turn of the century.
3 years in a row.
3 years in a row should be the Delta Colleen did it in different years.
Yeah, but I think Magic Co
did it 3 years in a row, and Touching Promise looking to do the same thing here. As you mentioned, too, if it rains, we saw her win it. The first time she won it with Mario Gutierrez on it, beat heavily favored Madeira Park with Mario Board just doing it easy. And rain or shine, she's the horse to beat. She's my best bet of the day, Touching Promise. I put Victress in for second.
Getting better. She's getting better.
I think
each
Victress
and
is
every
better
start.
than Snuggles. I do.
I just thought Snuggles got caught napping. But got caught, made the lead too easily, and then she's a horse that needs competition, Snuggles. Yeah. And Victress kind of rolled up and got by her by a neck.
The fact that she fought back.
She fought back, and it made it a real.
But it was her ninth start. It was only Victress's
third lifetime start.
And
like
she
crazy.
is
They're both nice.
just getting better and better and better. Obviously, Amadeo Perez had to stick with Touching Promise. I mentioned she's my best bet of the day. But there had to be something in his mind thinking, geez, it's tough to take off a nice filly like Victress, but Antonio Reyes picks up the mount, so no shame there. I got Victress in second, and I put Lockett in for third because I know she'll go this far. 7 out of 10 times going this distance. Yeah. She's hit the board, she'll be rolling late. Only got beat a length and a quarter by Touching Promise last time when Dennis Arrojo sticks with her. I went 5, 2, and 6 in the 2016 Ballerina. On to the 7th and final event of the day, a maiden $8,000 event for fillies and mares. I went to the 5 Cool Candy here. I like the 2 horses that have been running throughout their careers higher, like Cool Candy and Don't Tell My Husband.
Yeah, those are the 2
I
kind of stand
tossed
out.
a coin here. I went with Cool Candy. She's a little bit more lightly raced. Don't Tell My Husband is 11-time maiden, and she got beat last time for 12-5. Does move to the Bill Connick barn. Cool Candy's only ran 4 times, and it's going long. Her third start going long. I'm looking for a big effort from her, and I got her on top of Don't Tell My Husband. I think those are the 2 you need in your pick 2s and pick 3s, pick 4s. And I put Tell Us a Tale out of the Barb Heads barn in the 3rd spot. Only got beat 3 1/4 in her first lifetime start, and Barb's horses are usually much tougher in their second start. I like Tell Us a Tale in the 3rd spot. 5, 2, 7.
I got the same 3. I put Don't Tell My Husband on top, but it's a coin toss. Yeah, you're right. Don't Tell My Husband ran against the winners last time and was claimed out of a winners race, and gave a good account of herself against the Grey One and others, and winning it next out winner, Winning Edge. I think the mile and the 16th distance will suit her to a T, as obviously, of course, Cool Candy, who's aggressively spotted down for 8,000. And Tell Us a Tale, who's bred to run long. Borgatella was at her best going along the dam, and she walked out of the gate last time and was given way too much to do and ended up rallying to run 4th. But she's another one that could improve second time out. Might be a little early to go long off of one race, but we'll see. But I went 2, 5, and 7 to close out the Saturday afternoon program. That'll do it for our analysis of the program. Next up on screen is a quick recap of those lovely little selections we gave you. Back in race number 1, I went to the 1, Bluegrass Pride, over the 4, Abeal, and the 5, Ambidextrous Duke. Race number 2, I went to the 4, Horse Stands in Command, 4-1-3. Race number 3, I went to the 2, See You at Eau Claire, over the 1, Free and Fast, and the 3, Chestnuts Gold for 3rd. 4th race, I went to the 9, Prettier Than You, 9, 10, and 3. Race number 5, I went to the 4, Shooting Jacket in the Premier. It's going to go back to him. 4, 6, and then the 6th race, I went to the 5 horse Touching Promise. Going to go 5, 4, and 2. And then the 7th race, number 2, Don't Tell My Husband. 2, 5, and 7.
On to my picks. There we go. Back in the first, I agree with Mike. I went to the 1, Bluegrass Pride, over the 2 and the 4. In the second, the 3-year-old boys Sale Stake, I went to the 3, Lord Vancouver, over the 4, Stands in Command, and the 1, BC Charlie. In the third, the girls' turn at the Sale Stake, I went to the 2, See It Eau Claire, over the 3, Chestnuts Gold, and the 5, We're As Good as Gold. In the 4th, I went to the 9, Prettier Than You, over the 5 and the 7. In the 5th, the Premier's great race at a mile and 3/8. I went to the 7, Calgary Caper, over the 2, Sorry About Nothing, and the 1, Square Dancer. In the 6th, the Ballerina, I went to the 5, Touching Promise, best bet of the day for me, over the 2, Victress, and the 6, Lockett. And in the nightcap, I went to the 5, Cool Candy, over the 2 and the 7.
All right, thanks everyone for tuning in to Handicappers Corner. A reminder that our next live card is tomorrow, Sunday, October the 2nd. Our next live
8
card
races on.
We do have 8 thrillers on the Sunday afternoon program, once again starting at 1:50. On behalf of Drew, thanks everyone for tuning in. We'll see you next time here at the Derby Barn Grill.